statements of support for the Presidential Tax Transparency Act from a number of groups, including Public Citizen, Every Voice, Democracy 21, Center for American Progress, and Americans for Tax Fairness.
Without objection, there may be...
I thank the chair, and I withdraw my objection.
All right, so we'll go. Let's just do it again, just to make sure. Unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to submit questions for the record. All right, without objection, that's so ordered. If there's no further business, without objection, the committee will stand adjourned.
Your view on that subject?
I do not think there's a constitutional problem here. On the other hand, I have urged in my testimony that we ought to require disclosure of the information that's on tax returns with respect to everyone who is high up in the government with respect to national defense. We ought to have information about foreign government money coming in and out of closely held entities owned by the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of Defense, Secretaries of Army, Navy, Air Force. As a matter of fact, we had some secretaries, I think it was Army and Navy nominees who pulled back because they didn't want to go through the process. I have no idea why.
And I respect the constitutional concerns, separation of powers and so forth, but frankly, the public right to know, it seems to me, also has to be weighed here. And if you don't get voluntary compliance, then we have to look at the statutory recourse.
Absolutely right. And you can require it because 278 can simply be amended to require and a schedule of the tax returns. And I think you could apply it to people other than the president. If that's going to be the concern he feels singled out, fine, we'll add those other people.
Okay, Professor Painter, because of my time, because I know, Mr. Fitton, you want to comment, but I have very little time left, unfortunately. Professor Painter, my set of concerns is what could go wrong with that. Absent knowing questions of debt, obligation, relationships, taxes, owed or earned, we look at situations like Trump investments in the Philippines, Trump investments in Turkey, Trump investments all over the world, and one asks oneself, well, what could go wrong with that? Not knowing all of the details and not addressing the inherent conflict of interest through no fault of his own. He's a businessman, successful, and is now president. But you are president. What could go wrong with all that?
We don't know yet. But where would we have been in December of 1941 if President Roosevelt had owned buildings in Frankfurt and Berlin and a $300 million revolving line of credit from Deutsche Bank? We don't know what the next crisis is going to be. But our president is going to face dangerous situations around the world, and he needs to be loyal only to the United States. We have had a foreign government that has conducted espionage in the United States and has interfered in our elections. And now we have a president who will not disclose his dealings with foreign governments, with foreigners, and with others. We need those tax returns. We need them now. You can pass the bill. You can subpoena the information from the Trump Business Organization. We need that information now.
Thank you. Politicians. But it certainly allowed the public and special groups within the public to know what was going on and to make sure we were accountable. And I'd rather take my chances with that ethos than what we're dealing with right now. I assume you would agree that every president should release his or her tax returns in the spirit of this transparency.
Yeah, more transparency, the better.
Okay, absent cooperation voluntarily, do you support statutory requirement for such?
Well, I just heard about the legislation yesterday, and I have a constitutional concern about requiring presidents to release their tax returns, and particularly targeting this president through legislation specifically, which seems to be the excuse for the legislation.
All right.
A broader issue that's about getting Trump's tax returns, which may have some constitutional infirmities associated with that.